What's up, model building fans? Hey, it's Brian, and we're doing a video about our little Mitsubishi that could. This is the Mitsubishi Colt Galant GTO-MR edition from 1971, and here is the box flap. This is HC, or Historic Car Series number 28. And I like that box art color so much, I decided to go ahead and emulate that on ours. So there we go. One thing an eagle-eyed viewer will notice is that we did swap out the wheels and tires for something a little more robust. I just absolutely love these Watanabe style wheels and tires. These are like twice as wide as the kit ones, so we did have to do a little bit of modifying underneath in order to get those guys to fit on better. It wasn't too much of a deal. It was super easy, barely an inconvenience as a matter of fact. And we just had to narrow down the axle posts that's supposed to go into the little capture pins. What are those things called? Those little O-ring deals that are in there. The grommets, yeah, those things. Polycaps, thank you for yelling at the screen. That helped me out. I appreciate that. So yeah, we had to bore out the polycaps just a little bit in order to get those to fit on there better. And originally we had decided to use some over fenders that we were going to pilfer from a second Nissan ZG kit that we have. But as it turned out, we were able to get the wheels and tires to suck in under the fenders just nice enough to where I think they look good. I mean, this is supposed to be a Japanese muscle car of its era, so I think that looks the part with how those wheels are sitting. The stance, let's go back to here. The stance is great. My camera's crooked, but the stance is great. I apologize. Everybody who's watching at home is probably tilting their head to one side. But yeah, it turned out really good. It comes molded in orange and in black. The black plastic has an odd texture to it. It almost like a vinyl type of thing going on there, but it still glues up nicely with regular model cement, so that's nice. And typical to Hasegawa, I know that their plain kits suffer from this sometimes also, but the decals were thick and robust. I think is the best way to say that. They stood up to the microset microsol solutions that I was using. They also refused to cooperate with Mr. Mark Fit and Mr. Mark Fit Strong. So yeah, this is some tough stuff. But then all of a sudden they get brittle. So we're laying these guys down here. This whole panel right here that goes up along the top, that's one decal with the hockey stick going up here, and then this is all one decal coming out here. That makes it easier to lay down, pull off the sheet and lay down, but at the same time it's also like, oh my god, you'll still see there's just a hint of a wave. Mr. B, little BG here will demonstrate. Ooh, there you go. And then there's no real body line to try and run it along other than the fact that it sits just a little bit higher than the forward marking light and a little bit higher than the rear marking light. And there's a little hole punched out for the keyhole that goes on the door. So you get those 3 points, you know, the old saying, 3 points make a straight line. Well, there you go. What doesn't help is the fact that the decal is actually a wedge. So it's narrower at the front than it is the back. So yeah, hair was being pulled out for that one. And as a matter of fact, I think the swear jar got a few dollars in it. On the other side, let's go around to what would be the passenger side on this car. On this side here, we did have a breakage right there, ever so slightly. Can see it just sort of split. And then, when that thing split, it actually made a snapping sound. So I was like, oh snap. But yeah, it did that. And then I seem to be missing a little corner off of here for some reason. I don't know why. But, you know, it is what it is. It's a car from 1971. It's older than I am. It's got more knocks and dings than I do. But, yeah, I freaking love the wing-mounted front mirrors. Those are just really cool. I mean, nothing says JDM than wing-mounted front mirrors, right? And to my chagrin, I found out these are not remotely operated. You had to manually adjust these by getting out of the car and walking up there, or having a friend go out there and set those up for you. I wonder how many times people would pull up at a store and come back and get in their car and realize their mirrors had been bonked and have to holler at somebody walking by, hey, can you just move this in a couple of millimeters? Thank you. You know, type of thing. Yeah, the kit also does come with these little scoops on here. Very, very reminiscent of the 1967 GTO. Got some styling cues there. And while I was working on this, even though it's a Mitsubishi, I was really getting a flair for, I mean, I really felt like a Mazda. I can't really think of what type of Mazda it would be, but it just felt like a nice little Mazda coupe. It also felt a lot like we're working on a little Datsun 210, you know. So those are all of my favorite type of cars, these itty bitty little coupes, and yeah, I just freaking loved it. The tail panel is actually molded separately, so it makes it much easier to paint, as well as this whole piece back here is made up of several small pieces. So there's the black tail panel, there's the transparent red for the lights, and then there's actually a chrome bucket back there that all presses together. And you barely need any cement for that. It all fits very nicely together. And then of course the license plate bracket. So that made life so much easier putting together that kind of thing. The front end, pretty much the same thing. The headlight buckets and everything, that's all one piece. And then we have a chrome insert for the front grille and a separately molded bumper. Makes life so much easier when they do that kind of stuff. The GTO badge, again, was a separate piece of chrome plastic. And then let's see, around the side here, door handles are molded separately. That's kind of a nice touch too. I mean, that just makes detailing so much easier later on. The decal sheet does actually have silver decals for the window trim. I did not use those because of the issues that I was having with the actual side stripes. So we just did the old standby. That's just silver Sharpie. Yep, that's it. That's my trick. Oh, and also a little antenna mast. This part here is very easy to miss on the chrome tree with everything else that's going on. I may have had to dig that back out of the trash to get that off of there because it was like one of the last things you put on the car. And I was like, holy smokes, where's my antenna? There is a little nubbin underneath there to let you know where to put that. So that's why I knew I was missing something. And I went back and looked at the instructions. And sure enough, it was gone. But yeah, I just love this little dude here. We painted it in Tamiya pure orange. I had some of that left over from the General Lee build that we had just done earlier, so I thought that would look a treat on this guy, and it looked great. And I have heard that this particular color scheme, the orange with the black, was one of the more popular versions of this car. The second most popular version, I believe, was the white with the red stripe. And what was cool about the decal sheet was that it gave us a black stripe, a white stripe, and a red stripe. So we could paint the car body any color we wanted to, and go and have a stripe that could be in a nice contrast to that. So we could do a dark body with a white stripe or a white body with a red stripe, something like that. I've seen these in blue with the white stripes too during my photo research and stuff. So cute little cars. I've heard they're actually a kick in the pants to drive. I'll never know. Even if I owned one, I couldn't drive it. But we thought we'd do a little video on this guy here to let you all know that it's done, and it was a lot of fun. And if you have this one in your stash, take it out and work on it. If you don't have this one in your stash, get it. Get it while you can. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and sign off now. We've been jabbering for quite a while, so we're going to take a break and get on to some other things. And we hope the rest of you guys have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk to you a little later. Bye now.